Hey mamas, this is Playfully Faithful Parenting, and I'm your host, Joy Wendling. I'm a seminary grad and children's and family minister turned stay-at-home mom to my 5 girls. Spiritual parenting is my calling, and it's my passion to help other mamas disciple their kids using the power of play and their own authentic daily walk with Christ. If you're a mama who wants to introduce your kids to Jesus and watch as the Holy Spirit transforms their lives, this is the place for you. I'm so glad you're here. So let's dive in and see how we can partner with God today. Hi, mamas. Welcome back. I'm so excited to have you today. So today I want to introduce you to a ministry called Connected Families. And Connected Families is awesome. And I learned about them about 2 years ago, I think, and first just came across a book of theirs in our library. I was listening to the audiobook. It's called Discipline That Connects with Your Child's Heart. I just love to listen and read parenting books, and so I kind of go through the library and see whatever they have, and this book came up, and it just stood out. I've listened to over 50 parenting books, maybe even more. And this one is so unique. And I love the way they just do ministry. So they have what they call a framework that all of their parenting suggestions come from. And the book is so both like deep theologically, but also very practical. And I found there's a lot of parenting books that are like, oh, that would be great in an ideal world or with an ideal kid, or if I were ideal, but this book is not going to work for me or for my family. But I found that the framework of Connected Families really does work, and it works as long as you're willing to put in the effort. And so I want to tell you, just go over kind of their framework, which are like 4 basic messages that we share with our kids or should be wanting to share with our kids. And then over the next few months, once a month, we are going to look at one of those 4 messages in more depth. And so I'm excited to do this in part because I love Connected Families, and I think you will too if you give them a shot and listen to some of their resources. They have a podcast, they have a blog with tons of articles and free resources. They also offer courses, a discipline that connects with your child's heart course, which is amazing. I've taken it, gone through it a few times, and each time I feel like I get a little bit better as a parent. And they've got 2 books, both by Jim and Lynn Jackson, who are the founders of this ministry. And finally, the other thing that they offer, and they do a lot of, they do weekly Clubhouse. If you are into Clubhouse, they have something, I think, every Monday. And then I think it's on Wednesdays or Thursdays. They also have like a prayer room praying for you and your kids. But they have so much fun just helping parents to be more purposeful and peaceful. And so, and the other thing that they offer, which is really awesome, is parent coaching. And I just started last week their parent coaching certification program. So I'm really excited about that and all of the goodness and truth that I'm going to be able to provide to you. And I've also booked my first clients who I will be starting with next month. And I'm super excited about that. And just this training already, just our first week, it just was really, it speaks my language. Their founder, Lynn, she was introducing herself and just kind of sharing her heart about connected families. And one of the three things that she talked about was play, and was like, well, yep, that's this is the perfect place for me to grow, not only as a coach for other people and for you and to help your families, but also just for my own faith and my own family. And I'm really, really excited to just dive in. And it's a 9-month certification program. And I have seen on other podcasts and Instagram some of the coaches that are coming out of this program, and they are amazing. They are really helping parents, and they're just doing great work and sharing great grace and truth with families. And so I'm really excited to be a part of Connected Families. Before I tell you about the 4 messages that we share with our kids, I think one of the biggest things for me that has come out of Connected Families is that my kids are not my report card, and my kids' behavior is not my report card. And as a perfectionist, I really can take their behavior and let that be a reflection of me and my parenting. And that's not true. My value does not come based on my kids' behavior. Now, that's not to say that I don't have a job given to me by God with these kids of what I need to do, and I can just let them run wild and not take any responsibility for who they become. But the responsibility that I have is not to them as much as it is to God. And my value and my worth and the my love, my being loved by God, none of that is dependent on how my kids act. And so, personal story from just today. One of my kids is having a really, really rough day, worst day ever, according to them. Okay. Really out of character, bad day. And my husband takes a few of our girls to Costco while some of them nap, and he was getting ready to leave. And this is when I record the podcast. And so he's taking the girls to Costco, and I'm like, I just feel like a really cruddy parent today. She is just having the worst day. I've been told I'm the worst mom. All of that. And I felt like a failure as a mom because her day, her attitude, her behavior was so poor. And then I remembered that I was coming on here to tell you guys about Connected Families. And as I did that, I started reflecting oh yeah, her behavior is not a reflection on me. I was the best parent to her that I could be this morning. Maybe not the best parent in the world, but the best one that I could be. And I worked the framework to my best abilities this morning when I was feeling frustrated and hurt and angry and overwhelmed and stressed out by her behavior. I was able to stay calm because of what I've learned and worked through with the Connected Families framework. And which shows her the first message, which is, you are safe with me. I was able to stay calm. My husband was able to stay calm. That's a big deal. If you had heard our house this morning, it was definitely a God thing. The peace and patience that we were able to have this morning. I was able to try to connect with her and tell her, even in the midst of all the frustrations, that she is loved no matter what. In fact, I told her she was loved so many times that she told me to stop telling her that, but I didn't stop, because even when she felt unlovable, I wanted to let her know that she is loved no matter what. And that is the second message of the framework. Then comes, you are called and capable. And this does not happen in the moment. In the moment, you'll learn through Connected Families that in the moment is not a good time for teaching. When kids are in fight or flight mode, when they're angry, when arguments are happening, when frustrations are going on, that's not the teaching time. So there will be coaching opportunities later, probably not today at all, but later, where we will talk with our daughter and help her know that she is capable of self-control and of working through the hard feelings that she was feeling today, and that she is called to love others and not treat them the way that things happen today. And finally, the fourth message is, you are responsible for your actions. And this comes back to, I'm responsible for my actions, as well as my daughter being responsible for her actions. And so there were safety consequences this morning, where some of my daughters had to leave the room, just so they did not deal with the emotional brunt of the morning. And that was really hard. But we worked through it. But our daughter will also hear that she's responsible for her actions, and she will need to mend and restore the relationships that could have been damaged this morning. And so she is responsible for her actions. And in the moment, she wanted to blame everything on mom and dad, and it was all our fault that she was having the worst day ever. But we will continue to tell her and show her that she's responsible for her actions, and I'm just responsible for my actions. My husband is responsible for his actions. We each need to take responsibility and make things right when things are broken because of our sin. And so that will come. That doesn't happen in the moment. There were some brief comments about that this morning, but most of that will come later. And when she's in a good place and recognizing the connection that my husband and I sought with her this morning, despite the rough time. And so, so here I was feeling like this failure as a mom. I was like, oh, but I'm going to teach them about connected families. Oh, yes. I know this. I know that my parenting is not in jeopardy because of one bad morning. I still can be used by God to share something with you this morning. And so I don't know. I don't know what today would have looked like if we had not gone through parent coaching, if I had not gone through the course and read the books, and if we hadn't worked the framework. And so this morning, she may have thought that I'm the worst mom in the world, which is not an easy thing to hear. But when I look at, did I do what God called me to do this morning? I can say to the best of my ability, I did. I stayed calm. I practiced self-control. I practiced love, joy with the other girls, peace, patience, kindness, goodness to the best of my abilities. There wasn't much good in it for her. She didn't feel like, gentle. We were gentle with her. And so, it's just, the work comes from God and the Holy Spirit, but the tools that he used were the Connected Families framework and those messages and helping us to rely on God and trust God and to look to him to validate us and our value and our worth and our abilities as a parent. Our kids do not get to tell us our worth, and their behavior doesn't get to tell us our worth. And that is a beautiful and powerful thing. And so, so I'm excited over the next few months to share with you more about each of these steps in the framework and each of these 4 messages. And I just really hope you will seek out Connected Families, find them on Instagram and Clubhouse, podcasts, their blog, check out their courses. Some of them are only run a couple of times a year. So you can get on a wait list, I think, for the next time they offer that. Check out their books and check out their coaching. And if you want to wait around until spring, I will be available as a coach, and I'm really excited about that again. But they are just, they have such great hearts, and the connection and the discipleship that happens is, it's just amazing. And they recognize how important play is in connecting us as families. And so that is one reason why I can wholeheartedly suggest them to you. So it's connectedfamilies.org. I will put a link to things in the show notes, and I hope you will check them out. As I said, once a month, we'll go over some of these. There are 4 messages, and they are: you are safe with me, you are loved no matter what, you are called and capable, and you are responsible for your actions. But if today has shown me anything, it's that God is really working through this ministry and working in me because of this ministry. And I'm just so grateful for that, and that I didn't have to sit in my failure all day. I sat there for a few minutes, and then I remembered that God had spoken through this great team of people to remind me that my value, my worth, my abilities do not come from my kids. They come from God and Jesus and his work on the cross and his continued work in my life when I ask him to do that and ask him to join me in my parenting. And for that, I am forever grateful to Jesus and the work of the Holy Spirit, that they have not given up on me or my family, that we can continue to grow and to better reflect him. And I'm so grateful for that. And so it's just a highlight of today when days are rough, to be able to find Christ in that. That's the hope that we have, right? And so to see that hope in my parenting, not because I've done anything except hand over my parenting to Jesus. And so, that feels pretty good. Again, not because of me or anything I've done, but because of the Holy Spirit working through my parenting. And moms, I just encourage you to ask the Holy Spirit to join you in your parenting each day. And then when those days are so rough and so overwhelming that you can't even take the time to ask him, he's already there. And he's already been working, and that's just going to continue to overflow. Even when you can't consciously in the moment say, "Oh, Holy Spirit, I need you, help." Even when you're so overwhelmed that you don't remember to do that, when you look back, you'll see all those times before that you asked the Holy Spirit for help and to join you in your parenting. He remains faithful even when you're not asking in that moment. And So mamas, keep playing with your kids. And on behalf of God, thank you for loving and playing with his kids. And I will see you back next week. I hope you have an amazing week, mamas. Well, mamas, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me on Playfully Faithful Parenting. I'd love to keep the conversation going over on the socials. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you felt encouraged or equipped by today's show, do me a favor and leave a review. I can't wait to hear your story. Till next week, keep playing and pointing those littles to Christ.